everyone, my name's Lily and I'm the book reviewer behind Utopia State of Mind, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my favorites from July. I am very proud that this video is going live now. Normally I'm kind of late, so I feel very happy that I'm very early this month, or last month, but also this month. July was an incredibly good month. I listened to a lot of audiobooks. I kind of foreshadowed that in my auto by audiobook narrator video where I talked a little bit about the Libro FM challenge that was going on. So I listened to a bunch of audiobooks, which kind of pushed me over. I read 35% of my books had queer characters as main characters. 51% of those books had characters of color as the main characters in the book. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that those stats are pretty much on point to what I want. So I feel very good about that. In terms of July, how was it? Okay, so it was a mixed bag, July. I listened to a lot of audiobooks, it was great. I also listened to a lot because I was making a bunch of friendship bracelets. I feel like I vastly underestimated how much time they would take. I feel like, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I feel like I should have started way earlier. And also, though, in July, if you've seen some of my previous videos, you will know that I lost my voice, wasn't feeling well in July. I got COVID in July as well. So that's what I mean when I say it was a mixed bag. I had to cancel a lot of things as well because I was sick. So that wasn't great. So in general, yeah, it was like a mixed bag. I don't have much to show you. I'm about 3/4 of the way done with the first panel of the Babel Scarf. My original plan was to have the video ready by August 15th for both sides. I don't think that's gonna happen. My new date is like by the end of August, fingers crossed, just because being sick took a while to recover from. My voice is not necessarily 100% still. For me, I've been struggling with losing my voice when I've been getting sick more and more, not only with COVID, but also just in general in the last 5 years before I even ever got COVID. I've been struggling with losing my voice for large periods of time. I think that either in 2023 or 2022, like I didn't have a voice, I think, for a couple months out of the whole year. So I was trying to like slowly talk again, and that's been interesting. I can do like a couple hours a day, which doesn't even seem like a lot. But then after those times, like I just feel really gunky, like my throat and my voice feel really hard. I notice after those couple of hours, or even if I sing a bunch, it feels just like I have to put so much more effort into projecting and like making my words, basically. So I'm not feeling great. It's also gotten really hot, obviously, because it's summer. It's my least favorite months, honestly, summer. I'm a winter baby. So all in all, July was like, as I said, a mixed bag. And I also have nothing to show you. I have, I guess, friendship bracelets. I also did I did a lot of prep work in preparation to go places that I didn't actually end up going. So I had made a ton of earrings, for example, to bring with me on my trips. Didn't end up going. So yeah, a mixed bag, all in all, for July. But I had a lot of fun, really great reads. I had so many that were like 4.5. But I want to talk about the four that I have to share with you for now, for July. The first one is, if you've been following me on social media, you might already know that I've been nonstop obsessed with The Five Broken Blades. So excited for this. I was excited because A, look at those edges. B, it's just a really beautiful book, and the idea of a heist group crew dynamic adult fantasy style was really, really appealing to me. And then I actually found out that May Corland is the pen name for the young adult author Meredith Ireland, and I really have loved Meredith's previous books, so that was like the third reason I guess, that I was so excited for this one. And it was so good. I will try to find the TikTok I made where I talk about the audiobook experience, so you can see. But basically, I really was really enjoying it. And then around the end of the book, I just like wasn't entirely obsessed. I cannot wait for the next one. Also, Beautiful Edges. This is just so fun in the adult fantasy, and it's also so firmly grounded in characters, character work, character dynamics, character friendships. Like, it is so grounded in the relationships these characters have with each other. So definitely recommend that one. The next one is full speed. Full Speed to a Crash Landing. This is actually a sci-fi novella. It also has a bunch of swoony vibes. This was so fun, and I think my experience with this was solidified by the ending. Both of these two books, kind of the ending is what kind of cinches the deal for me. But Full Speed to a Crash Landing is the first in a novella series, and the last, I would say, 10% of these kind of extra materials, I don't want to give too much away. It made the experience of the first one. I think it's interesting because the novella has another heist. July was the month of her heists, but it has another heist, but it takes it in a different direction. Like, the main character is so sassy, reckless. You can never really trust her. I think Ada could scam me and I'd say thank you. Like, that is the type of character energy from the main character in Full Speed to a Crash Landing. And if you kind of like that dynamic, also like the fact that like you can't trust anybody and no one knows if they can ever trust you, that's the dynamic in Full Speed to Crash Landing. And so there's so much rich kind of world building that you can kind of see the breadcrumbs really being liberally thrown towards the last third of it, and then obviously in the last 10%. So I cannot wait for the next one. This was so great. The next one is The Blonde Dies First. I really enjoyed their Vicious Games, I think, by Joelle Wellington. And so this is actually Joelle's sophomore book, and it was so good. Basically, if you really like My Heart is a Chainsaw, you like that meta horror vibe where like they're in a horror story, they know horror tropes, they know horror movies, they have kind of this consciousness of what could happen, how to expect, how to prepare, but they're still stuck in a horror book. That is the vibe that the YA, The Blonde Dies First, gives, because they also have kind of a knowledge of horror tropes, of horror things, and it actually makes it so good because there are ways in which they can subvert it, ways in which they can explore the tropes. Like, those two books, even though they're sort of different, sort of similar in some ways, somewhat other ways, I think they are such great comparisons to each other. It was just so fun as well with the group friendship dynamic as well. In general, this was just a book that was obviously a horror book, but as well, it was something that is, it's kind of like with Five Broken Blades, so grounded in the characters, specifically the friendship. Oh, and I loved the twin relationship in The Blonde Dies First. I don't have a twin, but I love the idea of twins and, you know, someone who can mirror you in ways that a lot of other people cannot mirror you, and sort of reflect flaws or reflect insecurities as well. Like, I love that dynamic, and so I really enjoyed that one. And the final one is Swift and Saddled. I actually got this when I went to the event, the launch event at the Rip Bodice for Swift and Saddled. This was so cute. Like, I'm fully in the Rebel Blue Ranch phase of my life, I guess. I listened to Done and Dusted earlier this year, and so I listened to the audiobook of this one, and this was so good. Like, if it's a perfect kind of he falls first. It also has, if you saw my video about the Bergman Brothers series, I'll link it down below. All of these characters so far have a similar vibe to that, in the fact that Rebel Blue Ranch as a place, but also the people, the family in Rebel Blue Ranch, creates such a warm, welcoming, comforting environment, like a real sense of home. And so we have all of these other characters who are coming into that world and are kind of like, what is this? When is the other shoe gonna drop? And it never does, because it just is such a community that is based on love and respect and support. And I really loved seeing that in Swift and Saddles as well, because you have a main character who is really hesitant to open up, really is trying to be so independent after being so codependent or being so dependent. And so that dynamic between that and like just the softest cinnamon roll ever possible, that was really fun and swoony to read. So those were my top 4 favorite reads of July. Let me know what some of your favorite reads for July were. And I hope to see you in the next video where I talk for more than 2 hours a day in my life. Anyway, bye.